Shalom, 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 Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakar Kadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. And in this lesson, I want to go in on a little, little history on this because so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the true Jews and Israelites according to the Bible, they would think that, where they live is basically like this is just how it was meant to be when where we live as so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This was all strategically planned by the elites to further your affliction and to keep you and Lucky, just trying to get one thing said. They would think that we in the hoods, and they would say we in the hoods, we in the ghetto, this and that. Whenever we on the highways and the hedges, and we teach it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? We ask our people, what kind of neighborhoods we live in as Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans. What kind of neighborhoods we live in? They would all say we live in impoverished, we live in, gang infested, shootouts, robberies. Where we live, there's a highly increased amount of crime to whereas where other people live, which mainly would be these other nations, But you have some of our people who make a decent amount of money, and they move out of the ghetto or the hood, not knowing that was strategically planned as well. Anytime you have to put into law, right, to address the social and economic level differentiation. Salaki, I get my words tied up. Mainly, basically, anytime you have to put a law into place to attack and to address the difference between how so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans live and all these other nations, then it's a problem, man. The government, which are the elites who run the government, they have strategically set it up this way. This wasn't by coincidence. This happened because, hey, these devils, they know who we are, man. Now, before I play this, right, because everybody would say Negroes and Latinos, we live in the ghetto, right? We live in the ghetto, right? I would say that. You would say that, right? So this is in the online etymology dictionary, right? The word ghetto, right? It says part of a city in which Jews were compelled to live. So it's telling you right now in the scriptures, which we're gonna get into in a minute, it tells you that the Jews would go through hell. The Jews would deal in hellish conditions, man. The Jews would live in the worst parts of the city. The Jews would be brought over here on cargo slave ships. The Jews would be the sickest people. The Jews would hate each other. It's telling you in the Bible who the real Jews and Israelites are, man. Right? because all the tribes are not Jews. The Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negroes, Latino, not the so-called Negroes, American Negro, the Levites, who would be the Haitians, and the West Indians, right? You know, Jamaica, from the islands, Jamaica, St. Croix, St. Thomas, right? You know, they would be considered Benjamites, right? Those would be the Jews, so-called Negro tribes. We are all Israelites, but those would be considered Jews because they dwelt in the land of Judea, right? So, and that's where you get Jew from, Judea. That was basically a term that was put on us. You know, not everybody's a Jew, right? But everybody don't deal with the curses in Deuteronomy 28, man. And you have these Christians, they'll come up and they'll say, oh yeah, the Israelites, they use Deuteronomy 28 to substantiate them being Jews. But hey, it is what it is, man. This book was written over 3,000 years ago, man. So it tells you who the Jews were, man, and who the Jews are today through the curses. And we're going to get into some of these curses live and direct in this video, man. The video is only about 6 minutes long, you know, so we're gonna do it how we do it, you know. Yahweh Shem Yahushua willing, the elect be edified, man. Because we are the Israelites, man. Regardless of what anybody may say, we are the Israelites. Okay, Salakia. I want to get this scripture before we play this video. So this is Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. This is to show you, because our people would like to think that they are not slaves, they are not in captivity right now, because they can walk up and down the street and they can shop in any store they want to. But yet, if you go in certain stores, they profile you, man, and they say you stealing, right? You even get shot, you even get killed, man, going to some stores. Because they make a lie about you, you know, stealing, and then when you go outside, you get guns drawn on you. You make a sudden move, and you out of there, man. That don't happen to no other nation on the earth, man. This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 8, and it says, "Behold, we," who's the we? The Israelites. "We are yet this day in our captivity," man. So even to this day, which is May 10th, 2022, we are yet this day in our captivity still, man. It says, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity where thou hast scattered us," because we are scattered. The Israelites are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, right? "For a reproach and a curse." And we're gonna get into some of these curses, man. And anybody that comes across this video, please tell me who these curses fit on the planet, right? What people these curses fit, right? And to be subject to payments, because we pay the highest. The poor pay the highest in taxes. And who's the poor? The Israelites, right? It says, "According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God," man. So we're dealing with this because of our forefathers being disobedient to the Most High. And what? We are disobedient to the Most High, which makes us our forefathers, man. It ain't that hard to understand, man. We are going through these curses because of our disobedience and our hard-headedness and rebellion. All right, so without further ado, we're going to play this, right? And we're going to get into some more scripts. Most High willing, Yahweh Shem Yahushua willing, the elect be edified. Shalom, Israel.
Like many songs will tell you,
bullet holes left in my peepholes.
the story of what housing and other living conditions look like for many Black Americans is pretty bleak, and that's by design. In addition to artists cataloging their very personal experiences,
When the landlord dissed us, no heat. Wonder why Christmas missed us.
it's been proven that the modern phenomenon of concentrated Black poverty was an intentional government-sponsored institution.
So it says intentional racial discrimination and segregation by the federal government as a principal cause of concentrated poverty, a response to shield and white. So this was intentional, man. This America has intentionally did what they did to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. America, all the laws that they set up, the false imprisonments, right? The shot 9 times in the back because you fear for your life. All of that stuff is intentional, man. All that stuff was designed to destroy our people, man. The Israelites. This is what America has been put in power to do, man. Right? There are only 2 things America was put in power to do, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. 1, to oppress the Israelites, and ultimately at the end to be destroyed, man. This is why America is going to be destroyed, man. Because of all the rape, rob, murder, and hellish conditions that the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, and all these other nations have came together to do to us, man. Right? That's what it is. You can try to get around it and say, oh, you know, you reaching and all of that can't be right. Right? Come on, you're a conspiracy theorist, brother. Right? This is Ecclesiasticus Sirach chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. Who did that, man? Who has set up unrighteous dealings, man? Set up a task force to go out and intentionally arrest so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to fill up the prison system so they can use them for slavery, man. Who has set that up, man? So-called white man. Who has gotten riches by deceit, man? The so-called white man, man. Right? It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Who's the another people that is going to be translated to? The Israelites. And we're in the time of that. We're in the time of the rulership of Esau, Edom being stripped right from under him and given to the Israelites, man. Right? Because of all the rape, robbery, and murder, man. Right? Because of all of that, man. And these devils can't escape. They're not going to escape, man. They are not going to escape because the Most High won't allow them to escape. While they were doing it, everything was okay. Right? This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, man. The laws, right? The prison system, the judicial system, right? The medical system, all was created to destroy so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and get us caught up, man. The food system, man. This all has been set up to destroy the Israelites, man. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree. So woe unto them. Woe meaning destruction unto them. Who's the them? Esau, the so-called white man, and all these other nations, man. Destruction is coming to them. It said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree, that right grievousness which they have prescribed, man. They let it go. All these other nations, they'll sit up here and say, my brother, right? And who are the other nations? The so-called Chinese, Japanese, the so-called East Indian, the so-called Arabs, and the so-called Africans, man. right? Everybody want to be friends with the Israelites when the Israelites are spending money with them, man. But other than that, they don't want nothing to do with you, right? That's what it is. So destruction is coming to these nations. We're gonna continue.
This is in part why President Biden issued an executive order back in January, intended to right historical wrongs Black folks have faced when it comes to housing and home ownership in this country.
Anytime you got to set up a law, like I said earlier, to address that, then you know this was intentional, man. Because why nobody else ain't going through this in America? Why ain't no other nations going through this in America? You get people from other nations that can come over here and they'll get a house, they get a loan, right? They get everything they need within that first year they're here, man. But so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans been over here, right, for 400, 500 plus years, and we still in the same situation as we was when we came over here, man. Our people out there fighting for equality. We not equal to these nations, man. We better than these nations. Pursuing in the book of Deuteronomy 7-6, we are above all nations upon the earth. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
First, let's take it back.
Dawn of the 20th century, African Americans in major cities lived scattered throughout the city. They weren't.
Then we just read that scattered, because the Israelites were scattered not only throughout the cities but throughout all four corners of the earth, man. They are Israelites. It's not a country you're gonna go to that does not have a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American there, man. Or you can go to any country on the earth, man, where people dwell at, and there will be Israelites there.
Segregated, particularly. It's only with the great migration of 6 to 7 million African Americans north and west escaping the south, the predominant response of the United States government and state and local governments to the great migration was to contain Black people in their own neighborhoods.
Yeah, that's why you got a heavy police presence only in the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans neighborhoods, man. Right? This is why you have that, man. This is why, you know, you have them just blatantly coming around, just starting with Israelites, man. They drive around slow through your hood, right? Hey, scripture just came to mind. Let me see if I can find that. That's Psalm 67. No. Psalms. Salaki. I think it's 10. Is it 10? Psalms, right? Psalms chapter 10, right? Come. This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 8, right? It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the village. Because that's what they do, man. These race soldiers, right? They'll be creeped up in the corner on a side block in your neighborhood with the lights off, right? In an unmarked car, just waiting for something to pop off, man. That's where you get stakeouts from, right? It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the village. The village is where the Israelites will dwell, right? In the secret places doth he murder the innocent, man. Who's the innocent, man? The Israelites, man. The Israelites are the innocent, man. We have innocent and righteous blood in us that's going to be avenged by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua real soon. So it says, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor, man. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in the den. So like in his den, he lieth in wait to catch the poor. he doth catch the poor when he draweth him unto his neck, man. That's why they'll set up crack in your neighborhood and then go and the same people that they got selling for them, right? They go and lock them up, man. Like they put the drugs in the neighborhood, and then the drug dealers, they get arrested for selling the drugs that they gave them, man. Because some of our people are ignorant as hell, man. They don't see what's happening. How much to somebody who's selling drugs, right? Right? That was selling crack and cocaine and heroin or whatever, man. Even until this day, how far you think you're gonna get, right? Or what you think is gonna be your end? Because the person that gave you the shit is the ones that's gonna take you down, right? And you ain't supposed to be selling drugs or nothing like that, killing your own people, right? So you gonna get judged, which are our people gonna get judged, right? By Yahweh Shemel Shah for doing that, right? So Psalms 10 and 10, it said, he croucheth and humbleth himself, right? He'll come up to us like on speaking of my own self, right? It was time that I was, in my neighborhood, right, walking down the street, and the cops will pull up next to me and try to have a conversation. Hey man, what's going on? Where you headed? Huh? It's a nice day out. Where you headed, man? What you got on you, man? You all right? You don't try to humble yourself like he's your friend, man. Meanwhile, he want to take your ass down. If he could, right then and there, he'll probably put you to death, man. And it's even worse when it's our people, man. Right? So it says, he croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones, which is his mouth, man. You may take heed to that. Yeah, I'm all right, man. They'll be like, yo, man, they'll come up to you, they'll stop the car, they'll jump out. Yeah, man, you fit the description, man. Just, just let us check you out, man. I'm pretty sure you ain't got nothing on you. Just let us check you out, man. And then what? If you're in a car, that's even worse, man. Because there's been plenty of cases coming out where these cops is planting drugs in brothers' cars, man. So this devil is nothing but a devil, man. He can't be nothing else. Right? Verse 11. He hath said in his heart, Yahweh Shem Shah hath forgotten. He hideth his face and will never see it. But oh, no, you wrong, devil. Yahweh Shem Shah know every single thing that you did to his people. And he's going to pay you back double for everything you did. So, hey, have fun, man. Have fun in doing what you want to the Israelites, man. Because when the shoe is on the other foot, we're going to see if you can handle it. We're going to see. So continuing on.
And HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, was particularly a part of this role. With precursors to HUD, introduced and encouraged racially restrictive covenants, redlining of every major city.
And redlining in every major city, redlining is a law, basically, not even a law. It's a secret decree, right? That so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans cannot live in certain neighborhoods because they want to keep things divided. Because you had Edomites say, if we allow Negroes to come in our neighborhood, it's going to bring the property down. But wait a minute, you would let our people build these bullshit ass houses for you, right? And then after they finish, they got to get out, or you would allow them to work there, right? And be your slave. But yet, when Negroes try to and Latinos try to depart from your ass, right, and set up Black Wall Street, what you do, man? You send a damn dirty ass Edomite woman there to stir shit up, man. And then you bomb it. Because you other nations, y'all know, if Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans get their own, you niggas is finished, man. And that's what we coming into now. We coming into our own rulership, man. Through the fierceness and the avengement of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man, that he about to put on you devils, man. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Y'all tell us, oh, we don't want y'all around, but then when we not around and we doing our own thing, y'all come over there and say, oh, you're a racist. You fucking devils, man. The Lord is gonna do something terrible to you devils, man. Right? And all you other nations, because y'all in on it too, man.
City where African Americans landed. The federal government was a sponsor of urban renewal, infamously called Negro removal by the great James Baldwin.
Urban renewal, which means moving the Negroes out. It means Negro removal. That is what it means. And the federal government is an accomplice to this fact.
That so-called urban renewal also,
and that's what you got going on in these neighborhoods now. Urban renewal, right? Before, nobody wanted to come around where Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were because they said the crime was too high, this and that. So these Edomites, they were over there. They had whatever they had, right? And all these other nations all around us, but we had what we had. Now, what you see, which I started seeing maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years ago, when they started moving in. And then what they did, they would say we're gonna fix up the neighborhood, but what has to happen? Now these Edomites and all these other nations have to live there. So now the building you was living in for 20, 30 years that was passed down through your generations, right? Your house. Now what they do, they raise up the property tax because you got a damn bike lane in your neighborhood now, right? Because you got a damn palm tree that they put up in your neighborhood now, right? Because you got a new park. So what? They raise your property tax knowing you can't pay it. Then they'll come in and try to present you some money to buy you out of your house, but your house is paid for, and if you don't want to sell, them devils will go down to the courts and figure out a way to get your house, man. They'll basically raise the property tax, raise the house insurance. That way you can't pay it. You'll have no choice but to move out, man. And them devils move in, man. But all of these unrighteous decrees that you devils have done to the children of Israel, hey, it ain't gonna last, man. And we on the end of it falling, man. We on the end of all your unrighteousness being cut short, man. And all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for that, man. Because me personally, man, I'm sick of seeing you damn devils, man.
included a federally sponsored interstate highway system, which was intentionally designed to mow through vibrant Black neighborhoods.
Man, you heard it. That's a lot here for keeps stopping it, but yo, this name vexes you, man. Highways were only built to go over and through so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans neighborhoods, man. Because you didn't want to go through the neighborhoods in fear of being robbed. Right? Being shot. So they give you a quick way to get out or get past. This the only reason these highways was created, man.
Take Miami, for example. 2 highways, I-95 and I-395, bulldoze right through the predominantly Black and low-income Overtown neighborhood, previously called Colored
Look at that.
Town during segregation.
Look at that. Let me read this real quick if I can. All right. It says Colored Town, Miami's Black community, 1896-1930. It says, at the time of Miami's incorporation in 1896, the fortunes of Black Americans had declined to their lowest level since the Civil War, right? And headed illusions and notable accomplishments of the free men during Reconstruction, and had succumbed to the harsh realities of economic dependency. Because what they did, like, Negroes would make at one time, Negroes was making enough to survive, but they made it right when they wanted to upscale in these neighborhoods. Everything went up except the Israelites' money, basically. So they couldn't afford things, man. Right? So it says had succumbed to the harsh realities of economic dependency and the restoration of white democratic rule in the South. Increasingly, blacks found themselves scapegoats for political and economic tension and targets for virulent new doctrines of racial inferiority, resulting in widespread disfranchisement, segregation, Jim Crow legislations, and increasing white intimidation and violence in Florida and elsewhere in the South. The problems worsened in the early decades of the 20th century, a period that one historian has aptly described as an agony of race relations in Florida and the nation. So basically, it was like with the Jim Crow laws, you couldn't even look at an Edomite. If you did, you would get locked up, man, or beat up. Right? They would set up laws to intimidate Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and extract violence on them just for even you look at an Edomite, you talk to an Edomite, right? And these damn devils really believe they're gonna get some fucking mercy, man. They're not gonna get no mercy, man.
Colored town during segregation.
The Department of Housing and Urban Development and the federal government writ large in the first 7 decades of the 20th century invested billions of dollars in racial segregation and concentrated poverty. Each time this country created...
Look at this, man. Look at this shit. Look at this, man. These fucking devils, man. They think they better than us, man. Boy, I tell you, man, the shit that's about to happen to these damn Edomites, man, and all these other nations, man, hey, I can't even describe it, man. And hey, I don't want to describe it, man. I'm just thankful. And you brothers, y'all gotta be thankful, man, that you not Edomites, man.
Created a peculiar institution that subordinated black people, slavery, Jim Crow. It created and
all right, so you see, right? All right, let me get here. Right, so this right here, right? Check this out. What they picking? Cotton, right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. I'm gonna start. Now, these are the curses, right? I'm just gonna read a few. This is Deuteronomy 28, 15. But it shall come to pass that if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. So if the Israelites didn't do what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua told them to do, our power, and only our power, right? Right? It says what? That all these curses, didn't it say we was under a curse? In the beginning of this video, didn't it say that they was scattered and would be a curse, man? Right? It said that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And as you can see, all of these were curses that were coming upon us and overtaking us, man. We couldn't do nothing. Right? Verse 16. Look at this image right here. Cursed shall thou be in the city, because what? You were so cursed in the city, they had to put damn highways over your city so that people would feel safe, man. They didn't want to drive through. That's how cursed the cities were, because they were heavily impoverished, right? You ate all bad food. You didn't have nothing. You didn't have money, right? You made a cents on the dollar, right? They set up laws to intimidate you, right? Even to this day, you live in roach, rat, mice, spider-infested apartments, right? Right? You get shot in your own neighborhood. You get robbed in your own neighborhood, right? The hatred among so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are at an all-time high, right? You don't even feel safe in your neighborhood, which you grew up in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, man. You would think that it would get better, but it's gotten worse, right? So it says, "Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field." Look, what's this? This is the cotton field. Is this not a curse, right? That will happen to a people, which these people would be the Jews. These people would be the Israelites, according to the Bible. Is this not a curse that's in the Bible? That said it would happen to the Israelites, right? They said it would, right? Verse 17, it said, "Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store," right? You won't be able to save nothing. You're gonna have enough just to get by, man. You're not gonna be able to save nothing. It tells you in the book of Haggai 1:6, it said, Salaki. I always have a problem quoting that one. Let me get it real quick, Salakia. I want to try to go through this. All right, Haggai, right? Haggai, right? Haggai chapter 1, verse 6, it says, "Ye have so much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough." Right? No matter what you do, you ain't got enough, man. Because you living check to check, right? It says, "Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes," man. So that money, you hear our people, man. They getting paid Friday, but yo, that check gone, man. That check going to rent, car note, food. So by the time that check hits your hand, that check is gone, man. And then after you look like, damn, yo, out of my check, man, I only got about $23, man. I'm doing bad, man. So that's another curse, right? That's another curse. "Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store," man. Deuteronomy 28:17. Right? So we jump to the 29th verse. No, matter of fact, we'll jump to 33. It says, Deuteronomy 28:33. "The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up," man. Then these devils, they eat up everything that we built. We build buildings. We can't afford to live in them. They live in them, right? We pick cotton. We not getting no money from that cotton. We gathering up that cotton, giving it to our enemy, man. Right? And they make shirts, clothes, pillows, whatever, man. So we not making no money. We didn't get nothing for this, man. Right? It says, "And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always," man. So we, even until this day, 2022, we are still being oppressed. But we would like to think that we're not. When we are, man, we are being oppressed. Right? We'll jump to 30. Let's do 34. "So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see," man. The dumbness tells you, Ecclesiastes 7:7. "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad." So if you mad, you are wise, man. If you think that you living good and you're not a slave, hey, you a fool, man. You a fool, man. Right? But you'll be wise if you was mad. Right? It's verse 37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment. What are you, an African American? Colored, right? And hey, that's a proverb, which was the next one. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb. A proverb is another saying that you are not. Is a nickname, it's a title, right? An astonishment, because people gonna look upon us and be like, damn, these people really messed up, man. And what how the nations think about so-called Negroes, man? They say we loud, we're violent, we're savages, we're a bunch of niggas, right? And spicks, wetbacks, right? Spanish-speaking niggas, right? So we are an astonishment to these other nations, right? It said, and a byword, right? Which is another word other than what you are, because we are Israelites, but we are been called Spanish, niggas, spicks, black, African American, colored, right? Every name in the book, rather than what we are. It said, among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. So the Lord put us in all of these curses, man. You think these Edomites really got the strength to put us in all these curses? Hell no, man. It was the Lord that did this. Verse 45, and it reads, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. Are we destroyed even in 2022? We are destroyed even in 2022, man. We have a spiritual and mental destruction that we are dealing with, man. We are destroyed spiritually and mentally, man. And some of us are defeated physically, man. It says, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord, because we didn't listen, man. Right? It says to keep his commandments and the statutes which he commanded thee. Right? And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, meaning a certain amount of time. So this was a sign that the Most High will put on his people for being disobedient. And throughout all the people on the face of the earth, who are the people that are dealing with all these curses to this day? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Verse 47, Deuteronomy 28:47, it says, because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. So what did the Most High call the so-called white man and all these other nations? He called them our enemies, right? Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. Because when we're hungry now, even in 2022, we got to go to the supermarket. We got to go to these restaurants. We don't own none of that, man. And if they got our face there that we own it, hey, who we paying the taxes to? Who we getting the food from? Our enemies, man. Right? It says, and hunger and in thirst, because when you go to the store, you get something to drink, whether it's water, juice, soda, whatever, man. We don't own none of those. We don't own a water plant. We don't own a factory where we produce our own drinks and things of that nature, right? Our enemies, we got to go to our enemies for that. And in nakedness, because whenever you go to these stores, Foot Locker, H&M, Bloomingdale's, Louis Vuitton, all these whack-ass clothing stores, man, right? Whenever you go to those, you go into your enemy, man, because he owns all those things, man. Right? It says, and in one of all things, right? A house loan, a driver's license, death certificate, wedding certificate, car, a job, anything, man. You got to go to your enemy. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So he put a yoke, they put literal yokes of iron around our neck. Right? And now we don't have them. Now we got those mental and spiritual chains on us, man, that has destroyed us. Because now we believe in Buddha, we Christians, we Catholics, we Baptists, we Christian apologists, we all types of stuff, man, other than Israelites, man. Right? Verse 49, and the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. Now, who's this nation? Whose mascot, I would say, is the eagle? Greece. It was Rome, right? It was America, right? All of these the item, the representative of these kingdoms was the eagle, right? It says, as swift as the eagle flieth, right? A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, right? Because they came with English, conquered our people. Spanish, conquered our people, right? French, conquered our people, man. Right? We didn't understand those languages, right? A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor shew favor to the young, man. Right? Then they kill our babies, alligator bait. Then they destroy our fathers, our dads, right? Our grandmothers, grandfathers. They didn't care how old you was, man. They didn't care how young you were, man. Right? Now they want some kind of they want some kind of remorse. I mean, they want some remorse plea now, and they want some kind of mercy. They ain't gonna get no mercy, man. Right? So let's continue.
Slavery, Jim Crow, it created and dismantled it. They replaced it with another one. And the iconic black ghetto, I don't use that as a pejorative, I use it as a descriptor, was a follow-on institution to slavery and Jim Crow. That's the legacy that every new administration inherits, and the Biden administration has as well.
Today, I'm directing the Department of Housing and Urban Affairs and Urban Development to redress the historical racism in federal housing policies.
Yeah, look at this devil's face, man. You know he's a liar, man. He wants to address it, man. How many presidents came before him said the same thing? They reading off what's that? The teleprompter. They reading off of that. All right. This is Deuteronomy 28:65. Right? It says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease. We're not gonna find no ease. We're not gonna have no peace, man. Right? Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, man. We always on the move. Some of our people got 2-3 jobs. Never get a break, man. Get minimum sleep. Right? Walking out here zombies using coffee as a way to keep up. Right? Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee their trembling heart. Because they be scared out here. We scared we're going to get pulled over if we're driving. Or if we walking, we scared we're going to get harassed. Or if we go in the store, that might be the last store we go in. Right? Every day we wake up, man. That's why you got to pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushua and ask him to protect you from this devil, man. And from all the evil that may want to take you out. Right? So it says, and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Right? Hey, that's what it is, man. That's what we dealing with here in America. That's what we dealing with. Right? Right? And then the very last scripture in Deuteronomy is the nail in the coffin, right? It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. Egypt is another form of slavery. Bondage, man. That's what it means. Right? It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, into slavery, the house of bondage. It's doing in Exodus 20:2. It says, again, with ships. How did the so-called Negroes and Latinos get over here to the Americas? Right? on cargo slave ships, right? By the way whereof I spake unto thee. So the same way that Moses said it was going to happen through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shad, it happened, right? Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold to your enemies. That's what we was. We were sold to our enemies when we got off the ship, right? You shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, slave men, slave women, and no man shall buy you, meaning no man is going to redeem you. Nobody's going to get you out of this except Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. And we are in the time of that, man, because the Most High is tired of seeing his people be stomped on, man.
This executive order is just one of 4 signed by President Biden, designed to address racial equity in the United States. And while this progress is a step in the right direction, there's still a lot of harm to undo.
Segregation started coming down after the passage of the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which actually only got passed in the wake of Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination. In 1980, 8 out of 10 Black people would have had to move in order to be evenly integrated within metropolitan areas. Half of Black people who live in metropolitan areas still live in neighborhoods of high segregation. So,
and our people, they look at it like, oh, if we can't beat them, let's join them. And the Most High got something for you Jakes that do that, man. But as you heard, they passing all these bills. You know, Biden just said one in 2021. You know, what it say now? Now these Edomites are the children of their ancestors who raped, robbed, and murdered our people, man. So it says, Job chapter 20, verse 10, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods, man. But hey, you're going everything you took from the Israelites, you're gonna give it back, man. Regardless, if you're not gonna give it back voluntarily. I'll put it like that. You're gonna be forced to give it back because we're gonna take it, man. Right? And the saints shall take the kingdom. And pursuing in the book of Revelation. Right? Wait, let me see real quick. I don't want to say it's in Revelations. No, I ain't read that one in a minute. See if I can. I know I've been going with it. Salakia, brothers. Salakia. That is Salakia. It was in Daniel 7 and 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever, man. So Daniel 7 and 18. Right?
we've had modest improvement, but segregation persists, and economic segregation has spiked since 1970. The so-called American dream is only working for a relatively small slice of the population that can afford to buy their way into what I call gold standard neighborhoods that have the best of everything. And everybody else struggles, and the Black poor struggle the most.
So what happens now? Well, some advocates are hopeful.
Home applauds this executive order for really focusing on historical patterns of racial segregation and discrimination in housing,
while others remain cautiously optimistic. Here's Professor Cashin's.
And it's not going to change, man, because like we just read, nobody's going to redeem you. You're not going to get out of your condition until who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ makes his second return to recover the remnant of his people, man, which are the Israelites, right? So Biden and all of these Edomites, the children of their ancestors who oppressed our people, they can seek to please us all they want, man. But hey, the Most High is not going to allow them to, man. Because you're still going to be in that same, and these devils is all just talk anyway, man. Right? So we don't want no, reparations. We don't want no money, man. We want you devils out the way, and we want our kingdom, man. Which we pray, which I pray, Yahweh Shah, I am of that number, that elect number, to become the first fruits of the kingdom. But that's what we want, man. And we want to see the payback come to all you other nations, man, for what you did. Right?
So I got one more and I'm going to close out.
Suggestion.
I don't take credit for this, but I applaud it. There should be an equity analysis. The federal government spends so much money, it should track who's getting it by neighborhood, and it should pursue racial equity in the distribution of resources. There's been a lot of movement at the local level on this. For the example of Baltimore, they did an equity analysis and found that they were spending 4 times as much money in majority white neighborhoods as the majority black ones. I think we're in this moment where people are waking up, sad to say, because of the slow execution of George Floyd.
So now you got people waking up, because it tells you in the last days that the Israelites are going to wake up. They're going to come, they're going to remember who they are in the land of their captivity, right? It tells you in the land of their captivity, they will remember themselves, right? Let me see, Slovakia. All right. So this is Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30. And I'll close out with this, right? Because we almost out of here, Israel. We are, the Most High is about to send his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who everybody accepts as their Lord and Savior. He's only coming for the people who's doing what Yahweh Shah said, man. Those of our people, which is in the elect, which is the 1/3, those are the only people that's going to make it out of here throughout all of this, man. There ain't going to be no marching, right, with a stick of a person who, a brother who didn't keep the commandments, right? It's going to be the brothers and sisters staying steadfast in this truth, man. Right? So this is Baruch, chapter Salakia. I'm going to get another one after this, right? All right. Salakia. All right. This is Baruch 2 and 30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me." To the Most High. Well, Salakia. Let me start at 29. It says, Baruch 2 and 29. "If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number unto the nations, where I will scatter them." So we are scattered, like I said twice or 3 times. We are scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth, and because we are scattered, we are of a low number wherever we are, right? It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people," man, because our people are stiff-necked as hell. The brothers on the highways and hedges are telling you who you are, and you are being stiff-necked and rebellious, even until this day, 2022, right? Because the Most High sent us on the highways and hedges, man. You think that we out there for our own purpose? No, we are what's the word? Fulfilling prophecy, man. Before every kingdom was destroyed, the prophets were out warning the children of Israel to get right. Right? It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity," America, right? Everywhere that we are, throughout the 4 corners of the earth, right? "But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves." And in these last days, which we are in the last seconds of the last day, we are remembering ourselves, right? This will be my last one. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 25. And it reads, my children, the Israelites, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High. Right? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. For thine enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. The same way that Edomite treaded upon the neck of George Floyd is the same way the children of Israel are going to tread upon the neck of all these Edomites, right, for what they did throughout history, man. These devils got a lot to pay for, man, and they can't get out of it, even if they gave everything back to the Israelites that they stole. Even if they said, okay, Israel, we know you, the Israelites, you are God's chosen people. We love y'all. Here, we're going to set y'all up over here and this and that and give us all the gold and jewelry that y'all stole from us. You still not getting out of your judgment, man. You so-called white people, along with all you other nations, man. So you can march with us and pretend you love us. The Most High sees everything, man. So Israel, y'all need to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, serve y'all God, y'all power, turn from your wickedness, repent from the evil that you're doing in this land, come out of homosexuality, lesbianism, and whatever wicked, evil abomination that you're in, man. Come out of it. For the end is at hand. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Shalom, Israel. Love y'all. Stay strong. We almost out of here. Shalom.
To the realities of systemic racism, and I believe there is an ascending majority multiracial coalition that wants something better than a separate unequal nation that overinvests in some neighborhoods and disinvests and preys upon people in other neighborhoods. I'm hopeful, but you can never stop working for and organizing for the country you want. New generation's more radical and less tired than me. There's always another generation